Yo, never take light how cruel this world can be, most particularly for black men. So be prepared. Make sure you cover yourself, watch your six, and work with other black men to make sure that we have some type of support system for each other. Because ain't nobody else trying to give us one. Y'all know what it is. I hope you guys are well. Um, got this piece, ran into it last night, and it was a trip, to say the least. I feel for this brother. Now, again, I have no idea sometimes what a skit is and what the reality is. All I can say is these kind of things definitely occur, and I hope that this brother's okay. I wish it was a skit. I don't think it is, but hey, I've been surprised before. So I don't show this as this occurred, therefore you got to do X, Y, and Z. I show this because these kinds of things do occur. And if the most extreme elements of this brother's story are true, it's something you need to be aware of. But anyway, let's check this out. This is coming from Twitter via TikTok. Y'all tell me what you think.
My name is James. I got shot in the head back in 2006. I got shot in the head. I got shot in the head from doing too much showboating. I pulled out a large amount of money in front of a girl one time back in 2006, and she was just making phone calls, man. But you know what I'm saying, I was off a pill. I was high. I wasn't even thinking. That was the last thing I thought, that she'd do some shit like that, though. But I hit a couple of turns, and I went to the hood. I'm from 82nd and Birch in East Oakland. I got out the car. I was talking to a couple of my partners and shit. I got back in the car. She was like, something, make sure that shit don't hit me. But I didn't know that that's what she was talking about, though. She had a little skirt on. She was looking good. So, hey, I'm trying to get my freak on. I'm not even thinking about getting killed at this time. I was young. I was 23. But long story short, man, I got back in my car, got to the stoplight up on 82nd and MacArthur. When I get to the stoplight on MacArthur, shit, it felt like a bee sting, man. So I took my hat off. I'm like, it's a bee in the car. She hiding up under the dashboard in the passenger seat, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, man, don't start tripping off the pill. She like, I ain't tripping off the pill. She like, somebody just bust at your car. It scared me when she said that shit, because I looked up, my sunroof was broken. The sunroof was broken, man. I just got hella sleepy. I just started laying, putting my head back, and hella shit started rolling from the back of my neck. I did like this, and it was blood. I don't know what made me do it, but I stuck both my fingers like this into the hole in my head, and I was playing with it like, oh shit, I'm shot in the head. And I was still able to talk and everything, though. But somebody opened the door and punched me in the mouth, man. When they punched me in the mouth, they knocked me out for 32 months. I don't remember much more of that. That's all I really remember, man. I woke up 32 months later with a whole ass baby. Like, somebody was having sex with me in a coma. Like, seriously. And long story short, don't be flashing money in front of girls, man. Especially girls from Oakland. That can be girls from anywhere can do some shit like that to a nigga, though, for real. But this is why I wear the helmet. 32-month coma, I wear the helmet.
Yeah. That's all I found on it. Yeah. I don't even know what you say to that. You know, again, these kind of things have been faked before. But I still think it interesting and important to at least have some kind of conversation about in regard to the vulnerability of men. Now, obviously, he starts by telling you the story about how he was reckless. He's showing off money. He's in the car with a girl he doesn't apparently know. She's over there texting, and he's kind of oblivious to what's happening. And by the time things go down, she's well aware of what's happening and he isn't, right? And very shortly after being, going through a drive-by and being knocked out, supposedly wakes up, 32 months later, right? After having been violated, waking up with a baby. Now, this is interesting and it's important because if anything, there are a variety of ways that men can find themselves vulnerable, especially when in regard to their seed, right? Where, it can be as simple as one's girlfriend saying, yo, I'm on the pill. You've been with her for a certain amount of time. You trust her, and she can, you can be violated along those lines, even though nobody considers you violated. And both men and women and society will pretty much look at it as something you just shouldn't have done, despite that you may have been manipulated into it. But it can go to a whole nother level. And we've talked about this before, right? Where you can be drugged and someone can have sex with you, get pregnant, and hit you up for child support. So these are things that can occur. I haven't run into too many cases that I'm aware of where somebody is in a coma, but that's not impossible. We've heard about those issues with women, right? Where women can be in a coma and wake up pregnant or having had a child on one level or another because they've been violated by caretakers, male caretakers or whatnot, who may be violating them sexually. But I haven't heard a lot about that. We've seen it in movies like Kill Bill, although she wasn't pregnant, but she was being violated, right? But I haven't heard it too much about males. And I'm going to look into it because I'm curious. Not necessarily, again, saying that this piece is incredibly accurate, but, if he is acting, I give him this. He needs an award because he's good. I didn't get the impression he was putting anything on. But anyway, there's not a lot to be said for this other than to be careful. Mind your environment, mind where you are. If you're rolling around a hood you don't know, you really need to be conscious of what you're doing. And you probably don't need to be there unless it's something serious. Unless you got somebody there that can guide you through. But rolling through areas you don't know, especially poor areas, flashing money, flashing a car, all of that, that era is dead. Leave that alone, and make sure you know who you with. Monitor the quality of who you spend your time with, because this type of shit can take your life. But to actually wake up with a baby, that's a whole nother level of it, right? And it doesn't have to be this extreme for Black men to really start being concerned about how their seed can be taken, without their consent, as it were. See, that's the thing. Nobody talks really about consent when it comes to men, because people assume that because men want to have sex, that, consent is implicit. No, it isn't. Men can be manipulated out of it. Men can be drugged out of it. There are all kinds of dynamics that can take place where men being violated can lead to at least 18 years of child support, right? And, potentially being responsible for guiding a life. And many men take that seriously, whether they consented or not. If they have a child, they will take it seriously and invest their lives into making sure that their children lived a better life than they did, even if those children are a product of manipulation, right? Obviously, in a situation like this, there's not much you can do, having woke up from a coma, other than get a DNA test and then move from there. But I would definitely say, and this is something we've been talking about on my show recently, Black men have to become far more litigious. You need to listen to Dennis Sperling on this one in terms of when you can sue and in what manner. But we have to become far more litigious than we have been by taking things to court, right? And letting people know that just allowing us to go through anything and be violated in any kind of way with no response, those days are done. Those days are done. Yeah. If you're dealing with abuse, if you're dealing with exploitation, any of that, you need to become litigious. You need to figure out how to take people to court, because this kind of thing is ridiculous. But as far as this, man, this story in and of itself, I just wanted to share it with you. Some of you guys tend to know more than I do about these kind of things. Y'all let me know in the comments section if you find out any more information about this. I don't care if he's got a series of other videos that add to the story, or if this is all a skit. Share with us in the comment section what you know. But at the end of the day, whether it's real or it isn't, meditate on the story itself and think about ways that we can protect ourselves from finding, ourselves in situations like this. I mean, very common sense ways of avoiding it, but also any other observations you guys have to share, because this one, if it's true, all I can say is I feel for that brother. All right. But y'all have a good one. Just wanted to hit you with this short shot. Hope you guys are well. Peace. Peace.